You know, friend, when you asked me why an old man like me, 80 years on this earth, 3 pacemakers in the drawer, and more hospital bracelets than souvenirs, doesn't bother with girlfriends anymore, I had to laugh. Not a cute laugh either. I mean one of those old man chest-rattling laughs where I sound like a motorcycle with a dying engine. Because I've got stories, friend. I've got stories that would make your eyebrows run away from your forehead and hide under the sofa. You're 60 now, right? That beautiful golden age where your heart still flutters but your knees file complaints every morning? Well, I'm 20 years ahead of you, which means I've already stepped on the landmines you haven't found yet. And trust me, when it comes to girlfriends after 60, landmines everywhere. Sit down, friend, and for heaven's sakes, grab a cup of tea or wine or whatever makes your soul behave, because once I start talking, you're going to need emotional hydration. Let me start with the first time I realized girlfriends were no longer for me. I was 65 back then, still thinking I was a stallion, still flexing in the mirror as if my skin weren't hanging on me like 2-for-1 sale curtains. I thought, hey, what's a little romance? What's a little love? What's a little adventure? Well, friend, turns out after 60, adventure has a very different meaning. Adventure becomes, can I stand up without making a sound? Will my back stab me when I sneeze? Will my left leg betray me on a staircase? Romance? Romance becomes, who used up the joint cream? Whose turn is it to hide the dentures from the grandkids? But the day I learned my first shocking reason to avoid girlfriends after 60 was the day I went on a date with Clarissa. Reason number 1 is simple. Girlfriends after 60 will age you faster than time ever could. Clarissa, bless her fashionable heart, was 62, but swore she was 48. She had more energy than a toddler who found a sugar stash. I, on the other hand, was 65 and moving like an elderly turtle on a warm day. We went walking in the park, and I almost signed my will 14 times. Every 5 steps, she wanted to jog. Jog at 62? And not the cute, slow senior jog. No, she ran like she was training for the Senior Olympics. Friend, I tried to keep up, I really did, but after 20 minutes, my knees were begging me for a peace treaty. After 30 minutes, my lungs sent a resignation letter. After 40, I saw my ancestors waving at me from the sky. I thought they were calling me home. Clarissa looked at me, full of pity and excitement. Come on, Paul, don't slow down. Slow down? I wasn't entering the afterlife. After that day, I swear I saw 3 new wrinkles, and one of them spelled the word why. This is what girlfriends do after 60. They either age you 10 years and 10 minutes, or they expect you to act like you're in your 30s. And if you tell them my back hurts, they respond with, have you tried yoga? Friend, if I tried yoga at my age, the only pose I'd perfect is emergency room visit. For months after that disastrous date, my joints creaked every time I walked down my hallway. Even my left eyebrow hurt, and that's not supposed to be medically possible. But don't worry, friend, that was only the beginning. Because you asked me politely, and because I care about you, I'm going to tell you the rest, the truth, the raw, embarrassing, dramatic truth. Reason number 2 that senior men should avoid girlfriends after 60 is something I learned from Marianne. Oh, Marianne. That woman was 70 years young, with a voice soft as caramel and a temper hot enough to roast corn. We got along well for 3 months. Then one day I realized something terrible. Girlfriends after 60 want to manage your entire life like you're a distant nephew who can't be trusted alone with scissors. Marianne criticized everything I did, everything. If I took a nap, she'd ask, at this hour? If I ate a cookie, she'd ask, do you really need that sugar? If I turned the TV on too loud, she'd glare at me like I was plotting international war crimes. One time I sneezed and she said, "You need to drink more ginger tea." Friend, it was a sneeze, not a medical emergency. Soon she was rearranging my kitchen cabinets, hiding my favorite snacks, adjusting my thermostat, and this is the real crime, changing the order of my soap and shampoo bottles. A man needs consistency. At my age, routine is what keeps me alive. If you switch my bottles around, I might wash my hair with body lotion and spend 3 days smelling like a scented candle. But here's where it gets dramatic. One night she said, "Paul, you don't know how to take care of yourself." Excuse me? I've taken care of myself 80 years, friend. I've lived through wars, heartbreaks, and cholesterol. I've raised kids, changed tires, fixed leaks, survived malfunction in elevators, and eaten my own cooking. I think I know how to handle my life. When she said that, I felt something inside me snap. Not emotionally, I mean physically. My shoulder popped when I stood up, but emotionally too, yes. That's when I realized girlfriends after 60 don't want a partner, they want a project, and I refuse to be anybody's knitting project. I am not yarn. Friend, somewhere in the middle of telling you all this, I should probably say if you're listening and enjoying this old man's wisdom, you might want to support the channel a little. Leave a comment, share a thought, subscribe if you haven't. Not because I'm begging, heavens no, my pride is stiff as my knees, but because it helps us keep telling these stories, and I've got enough stories to keep your evenings full for years. Now, let me get back to the third reason senior men should avoid girlfriends after 60. This one is embarrassing. So embarrassing that even at 80 years old, I still blush when I think about it. It all started with a woman named Gloria, 75, gorgeous, eyes like midnight, and hips that worked better than mine. Our problem started the moment she wanted to take a selfie. Friend, do you know how hard it is for an old man to look decent in a selfie? My phone camera is cruel. It magnifies every wrinkle until it looks like I'm carved from ancient tree bark. My jowls sag like I'm melting. Even my eyelids look tired. But Gloria, she looked like she was auditioning for a magazine cover. Every time we took a picture together, she looked 20 years younger, and I looked 20 years closer to being framed on a memorial table. And she posted everything, every date, every meal, every walk, every moment my face accidentally betrayed my exhaustion. Suddenly, I was internet famous among her friends. They left comments like, "So cute," and "You found yourself a grandpa," and "Is he breathing?" That last one hurt. The constant posting, the constant pictures, the filters that tried to smooth my face but instead made me look like a wax statue. It was too much. I realized reason 3, girlfriends after 60 will put you online whether you like it or not. And once you're online, you can never escape. One day she posted a picture of me napping. My mouth was open, my glasses were tilted, and my soul had obviously left my body for a quick vacation. I said, "Gloria, why would you post that?" She replied, "People love authenticity." Authenticity? That picture wasn't authenticity, it was assault. I knew then that my quiet life was over. If I stayed with Gloria, every nap, burp, and accidental snore would be documented. My dignity would be destroyed, so I escaped while I still could. Friend, I could keep going. Believe me, the stories only get wilder and more dramatic, and you're going to want to hear the 4th and 5th reasons. The 4th one involves money. The 5th one involves, well, let's just say it involves my heart, but not in the romantic way. But before I continue, take a breath, because I know you're laughing and shaking your head, and trust me, if I were you, I would be too. Now, tell me, let's get to this.
Now, where was I, friend? Ah, yes, standing in front of you with my dignity barely intact after escaping Gloria's camera lens. You'd think by my age I'd have learned the art of subtle retreat, but no, I ran like a man whose life depended on it. You ever see an 80-year-old sprint? I wouldn't recommend it. It's less running and more panicked forward stumbling. But the escape was necessary, because what came next, reason number 4, was the one that really taught me the meaning of fear. Not emotional fear, not physical fear. No, friend, financial fear. The kind of fear that makes a man check his bank account every morning just to make sure nothing has mysteriously evaporated. The 4th reason senior men should avoid girlfriends after 60 is simple. Romance gets expensive in old age, and our wallets are already too fragile. After Gloria, I met Lorraine. Now, Lorraine was lovely, 72, soft-spoken, a smile that could make flowers bloom. But she had a hobby, something harmless in theory until it wasn't. Lorraine loved treating herself. And friend, that woman treated herself more than the royal family. She loved fancy dinners. I'm talking plates so small I needed a magnifying glass to confirm food was on them. She loved spa days. She loved weekend trips. She loved investing in our future together, which apparently required buying new furniture, new curtains, an upgraded mattress, a state-of-the-art juicer, and, my personal favorite, aromatherapy candles that cost more than a week's worth of groceries. One afternoon, she said, "Paul, darling, let's take a little getaway. Something peaceful, something romantic, something simple." Simple, that was the word she used. Friend, when someone over 70 says simple, brace yourself emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I said, "Sure, Lorraine, where are we going?" She smiled like she just found the holy grail of vacations and replied, "Santorini." Friend, I nearly choked on my breath. Not food, not water, breath. "Santorini?" I said, trying to make sure my eardrums weren't hallucinating. "Yes, Paul, white buildings, blue roofs, sunsets, something low-key." Low-key, low-key. Friend, Santorini is many things. Beautiful, yes. Romantic, absolutely. Low-key, only if your wallet is made of titanium. But what could I do? I liked her. I was trying to be spontaneous. I was trying to be youthful. I was trying to impress her. So, like a fool, I agreed. And the moment I clicked Book Now, I swear my bank account let out a scream. The flights alone were enough to dislocate a man's shoulder. The hotel? Don't get me started. Why are hotels in romantic places always so expensive? You're paying for a bed, a door, and a window. That's it. Yet somehow I came home with a credit card bill long enough to use as wallpaper. And on the trip, Lorraine had one simple rule. "Paul, darling, we should enjoy everything. 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 Every meal, every excursion, every souvenir shop, every overpriced snack stand." By day 3, I was sweating, not from the sun, but from financial fever. I checked my bank balance so often that the app asked if I was okay. But the final blow came when she said, "Paul, let's buy matching rings to commemorate our trip." Rings. Not simple bands, not cute little silver pieces. Oh no, friend. She dragged me to a jewelry shop that sparkled so much I thought my cataracts had suddenly healed. The rings cost more than my first car. When the clerk told me the price, my spirit left my body, floated above us, and whispered, "Don't do it." But Lorraine looked so happy, and I was so confused by her smile, and before I knew it, I said the word that destroyed me. Okay. Friend, I wore that ring for 2 weeks before I had a moment of clarity. I woke up one morning, stared at the ring, and said, "Paul, you are not built for this life." I took it off, put it in a tiny velvet box, and hid it inside a sock I no longer wear. If my future grandkids ever find it, they'll think I robbed a museum. That was when I realized reason number 4. Girlfriends after 60 come with financial chaos. And at my age, my bank account should be resting peacefully,
not running marathons. But friend, the fifth reason is the one that cut me to the core. Not physically. I haven't injured anything in this story yet, which is a miracle. No, friend. Reason number 5 was emotional. It involved my heart, but not heartbreak, something far stranger. It started with a woman named Eleanor. Smart, classy, 81 years old, and sharp as to cut diamonds with a conversation. We met at a senior center art class. Mind you, I was tricked into attending because someone told me snacks would be provided. There were no snacks, only clay. I nearly walked out, but Eleanor smiled at me, and her smile felt familiar, like something from long ago, something soft, something warm. We talked, we laughed, and I realized quickly that being with her felt easy, comfortable, beautiful even. But then something strange started happening. Every time I spent time with Eleanor, my heart got louder. Not emotionally, literally. My heart started making noises, clicking, thumping, fluttering. At first, I thought it was adrenaline. Turns out, friend, it was my pacemaker arguing with my emotions.
One afternoon, we were walking in the garden behind the senior center. Nothing dramatic, just a gentle walk, shoulder to shoulder. I felt calm. She looked peaceful. And then, my chest buzzed. Buzzed like a notification. I froze. "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" she asked. "My heart," I whispered. "It just vibrated." She shrugged. "Maybe it's excitement." Excitement? At my age, excitement is dangerous. Excitement is how ambulances get called. But the buzzing came again and again. My heart was practically sending text messages. I panicked. "Eleanor," I said, "I think my pacemaker is flirting with you." She laughed so hard she nearly fell into a rose bush. But I wasn't joking. Something about her presence triggered something inside me, and not in the romantic way, in the medical way, the dangerous way. A week later, I visited my doctor. "Doc," I said, "I think my pacemaker has found love." He stared at me for a long moment before saying, "Paul, you're having stress-induced palpitations from emotional stimulation." I blinked. "In English, please?" He sighed. "Paul, your heart is too old for romance. Calm down." Too old for romance. Too old. Too old. Friend, I didn't know whether to cry, laugh, or ask for a second opinion from someone kinder. But deep down, I knew he was right. My heart couldn't handle new love. Not the excitement, not the unknown, not the emotional roller coaster. And that was it. That was the moment reason number 5 hit me like a fallen coconut. After 60, girlfriends can literally put you in the hospital. My heart wasn't built for fireworks anymore. It wanted quiet sunsets, warm tea, peace, the kind of peace that didn't come with arguments, misunderstandings, expectations, or pacemaker malfunctions. So I stepped back, gently, respectfully. I told Eleanor I needed space, not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much, and my heart was too fragile to handle it. She understood, she smiled, she hugged me, and she said something I'll never forget. "Paul, growing old isn't about giving up love, it's about choosing peace." Peace, that's what I needed, that's what I wanted, that's what my 80-year-old soul had been begging for all along. And friend, that is why men like me avoid girlfriends after 60, because peace is priceless, because health is delicate, because emotions are heavier now than they used to be, because life after 60 is not about chasing passion, it's about protecting whatever time we have left. But don't misunderstand me, friend. I'm not telling you to avoid love. I'm not telling anyone to give up romance. I'm saying choose what brings you calm. Choose what brings you joy. Choose what won't make your pacemaker send notifications. Let me tell you something else, friend.
If you've made it this far in my rambling, heartfelt senior wisdom, you might want to take a second and support the channel. Just tap that like button, drop a comment, subscribe if the mood strikes you. Not for me, I've lived long enough to survive without internet validation, but for the younger folks who might need these stories. And for you, because I've got hundreds more where this came from. Now, before we close this chapter, let me wrap up with something important, something true. You know what I found out after all these experiences? Life still has magic in it, even for old folks like me. Even when our bones creak, our hearts tremble, and our wallets scream in terror. Love doesn't end. It just changes shape. Sometimes it becomes laughter, sometimes memory, sometimes peace. Sometimes the soft understanding between two old souls who know exactly what the other one has survived. And now, friend, as we reach the end of this story, let me leave you with a little invitation. Nothing pushy, nothing dramatic, just me being me, an 80-year-old man with stories in his pockets and a warm appreciation for whoever listens. If you've enjoyed this little journey, you might want to check out the 2 other videos that are about to pop up on your screen. Not because I'm twisting your arm, of course not. At my age, the only thing I twist is my ankle. No, I'm just saying, those videos, they're good, real good. The kind that might keep you smiling, thinking, or shaking your head like you've just heard another one of my questionable life choices. Go ahead, friend, click one, or both. Make an old man's day.